Think I'm a couple minutes early. Um, just about 1 o'clock, and it's Wednesday afternoon. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm thinking I'll probably talk a bit about um, sorry. 1 second. A little bit of typing. So anyway, I was thinking about talking a bit about the achieving some of the benefits of meditation without actually meditating, which sounds like an odd thing for um, a meditation teacher to talk about. But being a meditation teacher makes you realize also that not everyone has the, I'm not sure the word I'm looking for. Not everyone is going to sit for meditation. Not everyone wants to invest that time. Not everyone has the physiology to sit in meditation. Not that you have to sit in a specific position. The way it's taught in primordial sound meditation, as well transcendental meditation, as well as most meditation nowadays, you don't need to be in a lotus position, half or full, for that matter. You can sit in a straight back chair with a little bit of support, comfortably. That's actually how it's recommended. I like sitting. I don't sit in the lotus posture. I sit in Sukhasana, which is Sanskrit for easy posture. I absolutely love that pose. It's a very energetic posture. You get benefits just from sitting there. It loosens up the legs, the hips, the piriformis muscles, the glute muscles. It helps my back quite a bit. As well, I used to sit for a long period of time, 20 years probably, using a meditation bench, which I like. For some reason, a few years ago, I started getting an urge, almost a call, to get back to sitting cross-legged in the easy posture, to sort of reconfirm my commitment to the earth, to the ground. So I started doing that, and I've been cruising right along with it. The only thing as a teacher that we ask is don't, if possible, meditate while lying on your back, because lying on your back is how we sleep, and you get so relaxed during meditation that there'll be that tendency to fall asleep. If you fall asleep while meditating while you're sitting up, that's fine. There's what we teach is there's 4 things that can happen during meditation. You could be thinking the mantra, you could be having thoughts, you could fall asleep, you can slip into the gap. Any of those 4 things happen, and it's perfectly fine. It's a successful meditation. If you fall asleep, it's going to be a very restful, meditative sleep, and you'll be better for it. When you wake up, you go right back to meditate for the rest of your remaining time. It is what it is here. Good morning, Eric and chat. So far, you're the chat. How are you today? I was talking about receiving the benefits of meditation without actually sitting to meditate. And there's lots and lots of ways of doing that. Of course, I recommend learning how to meditate and sitting in meditation. But again, not everyone is going to be able to or wants to make that commitment. Doesn't mean they shouldn't get the benefits from it, because it's a valuable thing to have in your life. Health wise, you will reduce your stress, lower your blood pressure, be more at peace with yourself and with others. It will improve your relationships. You'll be a kinder, more compassionate father, wife, husband, parent, child, whatever your position in life. You'll be more creative. You'll be more productive at work and in your downtime as well. You'll be more attentive to yourself as well as others. You start to view your own um, needs, which is important. I know a lot of very selfless people who give and they give and they give, and yet somehow they never take that opportunity to give back to themselves, and they're left feeling stressed out, alone, lost, um, constantly in need of recharging, because they never turn that energy back. Specifically, caregivers. Let's see. Lewis says, doing good, Eric. Just getting some work done. Then going to go home to go live. How are you? I'm doing pretty well. I took a page out of the Is What It Is workout manual and just relaxed and got my reps in. I wanted to work for 25 minutes. I wanted to stay in the zone 2 cardio. Tomorrow I'll be doing Duncan Walsh intervals, maybe what he suggested last night. So I wanted to make sure today was going to be more of a recovery session, not concern myself with how many can I get in 20 minutes. I know I wanted to get over 200. It is what it is says. Don't forget to hit that like button for the host guys. Thank you. Our friend Flower is here. Flower, how are you? Lewis says, nice, Eric. And Flower says, hello, Sir Eric, and saying, Louise. Lewis says, can't wait to see that, Eric. Everyone's saying hi. You're also never too young to start meditating. You're also never too old to start meditating. But not everyone's going to do it. Not everyone is going to, one, want to, two, one, or be able to invest the time. Physically, they might be uncomfortable with sitting. There's 1,000 great reasons to start meditating. There's 1,000 reasons why people might not. It's not for me to say what a valid reason is one way or for the other. We all make our choices in life. But everyone should receive the benefits of meditation. So if you get outside and walk for 20 minutes, you are going to receive many, if not all of the benefits of meditation. Your stress is reduced up to 60% just in a few minutes of being out in nature. That's actually an amazing statistic, just by being out in nature. 20-minute walk, not to mention even the lowest impact walk, you're still getting cardio investment. You're still protecting your heart, reducing stress, lowering anxiety, as well as burning some calories. Flower says, you know it was me. You can't surprise us anymore, Flower. We got you pegged. Flower says, chilling with some Pepsi and pizza. That sounds good. That does not sound like traditional Myanmar dinner. Lewis says, he said yesterday, Flower, that that is your mama. See that, Flower? We pay attention to you. So one of the ways of turning your walk, it is what it is, says, Eric, remember, if Duncan is bullying you, send him my way. I got you back. I appreciate that. He did say he was going to try some nasal breathing. So I guess it's a fair trade-off. I'm not sure if people yet realize how much nasal breathing burpees suck. At least when you're doing, at least in those intervals. That's been the time when I've been most tempted to suck in some air through my mouth, but so far I've managed not to. Flower says, you guys certainly did pay attention. Hey, you got to pay attention to your friends. Otherwise, they might not stay friends. So one of the ways of turning an ordinary walk in nature even more meditative, meditation teacher, one of my earliest meditation teachers, Agnatha, who was Indian. He came to America in the 1950s on the Fulbright Scholarship. He eventually ended up in the Bay Area, California, San Francisco, teaching at Berkeley. And he was teaching English literature. And in his off hours, he was holding classes on meditation and the Bhagavad Gita. And ended up doing that full time for the rest of his life. Great, great meditation teacher from all traditions. His Eastern background and Vedic, Yogic, and Hinduism, as well as Buddhism, as well as the mystics, the great mystics of Christianity. And he would offer that to all of his books. I learned more about Christian mysticism from Agnatha than I did from any religion class that I took growing up, going to Catholic school. By rights, they don't teach religion. It's more of a Catholic propaganda. It is what it is, says, let's see, I think he meant Flower. Flower, your mom looks very young. I figured that's what you meant. I haven't seen the picture. Like I said, I'm afraid to push buttons on my phone when I'm live. Everything will go haywire. So one of the things that Agnatha would have people do, part of his meditation program, was repetition of the mantra. A mantra is spelled M-A-N-T-R-A-M. It's different than mantra. A mantra is used for its frequency, for the vibrational quality. It doesn't necessarily have a meaning to it, especially in primordial sound meditation or transcendental meditation. You don't want it to have a meaning. Otherwise, you get lost within the concept of what you're meditating on instead of getting drawn into the vibrational quality of the mantra itself. A mantram is like a holy name or holy symbol that you repeat to yourself. Flower says, you know, I didn't think I ever waited for a live since I woke up before. That's nice to hear. I'm really glad that you stumbled upon my channel, Flower. Our friend Destiny is here. Grand day and blessings. Just a yogi doing burpees in his basement. How are you? I'm doing well. Talking a bit about how people can attain the benefits of meditation without sitting in meditation. Although, again, I certainly think people should sit in meditation if they can, if they're drawn to it. Not everyone is drawn to that path. Not everyone needs to be. Destiny says, how are you, Louis? Happy Wednesday. It is what it is. Everyone says hi to Miss Destiny. I'm going to do my best if we get busier to make sure I read the pertinent comments so that I can stay abreast of the conversation and not get lost like I did yesterday. So the mantra is repetition of a holy name. This is what Gandhi did to help transform him from what even he considered an ineffectual lawyer in South Africa to the Mahatma, the great soul, the Gandhi that we know, the one that actually freed his nation from, at the time, the greatest empire in the world without a single shot being fired from his end, all through nonviolence, all through passive resistance, although I don't like that term passive. There was absolutely nothing passive about Gandhi. He was a fierce warrior of nonviolence who took beating after beating, standing up for freedom without ever resorting to violence on his end, and then thrown in prison where he would immediately go on a hunger strike. Beaten, wounded, fatigued, and then he'd go on a hunger strike until international interest demanded his freedom, and they let him out, and then he immediately went on a march of hundreds of miles in protest. Absolutely nothing passive about that. Destiny says she is doing great, which is always nice to hear, as Flower confirmed. So Gandhi was a firm believer in repetition of the mantra, which is a holy name. For him, it was Ram, or Rama. Rama is the personification of God, of Vishnu, that is generally associated with joy, exuberance, and love. So repetition of Rama, you are invoking the presence of joy within yourself. There was also Eknatheswaran's mantra, and it is also the mantra that I favor. Sometimes with the addition of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and then just repeating through that. So anyway, you pick your mantra, and you can reveal your mantra. If you're given a mantra in primordial sound meditation or transcendental meditation or other forms of Vedic mantra meditation, you want to keep that to yourself because there's power in silence and there's power in that vibration. But a mantram being different and being more inclusive, you can go ahead and share that if you're of a mind to. If you're Christian, it could be Mother Mary, it could be Jesus Christ, it could be something along those lines. You want something that has tradition to it, though. In Buddhism, it could be any one of the popular Buddhist mantras. Let me make sure that I'm caught up here. Louis says he's feeling good today. I hope so. He's got burpees coming up. Flower says, oh yeah, I meant to reply to this earlier. Pizza and Pepsi is not traditional here, but I like it. Well, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it's available for you. Not the healthiest, but you know, hey, if you are going to need it, I think being younger definitely helps. So I just mentioned before that 20-minute walk in nature, and your brain waves almost immediately enter the alpha wave state, the alpha wavelength, um, which is the wavelength of uh, early stages of meditation, as well as creativity, inspiration, peace, intuitiveness, just by being out in nature. And then you add that with your walk, and the repetition of the walking itself sinks you even deeper. Now you add the mantra, repetition of the holy name. So let's say you picked Rama. You just think to yourself, Rama, Rama. You can match it with your steps, or you can just, whenever you remember, you just bring it to your mind. We're not chanting, although you can certainly chant as well, which is a great way of entering a meditative state without actually meditating. Easy meditation, healthy. You're combining repetition of a mantra, so you're invoking the presence of God within your walk. And you don't have to sit in meditation. Everyone should get out in the morning and walk and be in nature anyway. That's such a broad statement when you say everyone, but I stand by it. Everyone should get out in nature. Flower says also, did Chris come yesterday? He didn't come. I was a little sad about that because I thought he might. But he was convinced when he talked to me that everyone hates him and wouldn't want him back. Which I assured him is definitely not the case. Flower says, yeah, not healthy, but it's not always I eat this combo, which is good. Mocha McCarty is here, saying hi, and Flower says, hi, Miss Mocha. So there you have it. 20-minute walk with or without adding the mantra or mantram, and you've received 90% of all the benefits of meditation, maybe 100% of all the benefits of meditation. Another thing, you can add in what I love to talk about, nasal breathing. Nasal breathing exclusively, in through the nose, out through the nose, helps put you more into the parasympathetic nervous state. So it leads you into that meditative path. Nasal breathing, repeating the mantra, the holy name, whatever the holy name is for you, and being out in nature. Things that you can do at once, all the things that give you the benefits of meditation without actually sitting to meditate. You can also, I keep adding to this, because you can add indefinitely to this process. You can add breath work before you head out in the morning. You can do annulum vilom, otherwise known as alternate nostril breathing. And I think we'll cover that. It's been a while since I've covered some actual breath work. Flower says, or Mocha says hi to Flower. And Flower says, I really hope Chris comes this session. You never know. Would be nice. It would be nice for him to know that you can always make amends. So, annulum vilom, alternate nostril breathing. I'm going to say a controversial name here. Politically, I don't care if you like her or not. I do. It's not about her politics. It's not even about her as a person. She's just an example. Hillary Clinton, a longtime practitioner of yoga and meditation. She was, when she did the congressional hearings on Benghazi, and she testified for 11 hours, very few bathroom breaks, some hard-edged questions. Afterwards, she impressed everyone, if not with her answers, with the fact that she was forthright. She was unruffled. Didn't get upset. Stayed completely composed and calm. 11 hours. Not many people could do that. And again, it's not about politics or Hillary Clinton herself. When she was asked by reporters, how did you do that? How did you manage to stay so composed for that length of time? She said she practiced her yoga. And then when they pressed, well, no one saw you practicing yoga. No one saw you get into the lotus pose or do a headstand. And she said she practices on the breaks alternate nostril breathing, helping her regain her composure whenever it felt like she was slipping. So that's why I use her for an example. Alternate nostril breathing becomes a meditation in and of itself, because you get into the Vishna mudra, the pranayama mudra. These two fingers are supposed to be, if they can, together. And forever of doing breath work, they've never stayed together. They're never going to stay together. I start every time with them together. I pull them together, and then they immediately go like that. No big deal. You pull in your index finger and your middle finger back, and the ring finger and the pinky finger are up. Your thumb is out. It's almost like you're doing the hang 10, or maybe it is the hang 10. But it's called the Vishna mudra, or the pranayama mudra. And you use it with your thumb. You seal off the right side. And then if you're doing a breath retention, you lightly grasp. You're not pinching, you're not holding, lightly grasp. And then when you breathe through your left side, or exhale through your left side, you bring it up. Breathing in, breathing out. Looks funny. Hey, who cares? You get results. Improves respiratory health, decreases stress, increases positive hormones, as well as increasing lung capacity, calming, especially when you start adding in the breath retention. You can do that in the morning, and it becomes a meditation, especially with this practice, because it becomes a very mindful moment. You're adding in mindfulness as you do it. You can also add the Ujjayi breathing, which I've mentioned before, which is considered the ocean's breath, where you're making that sound, like it put the seashell up to your head. But you do it with the exhalation and the inhalation very gently through the nose. I don't know if anyone can hear that or not. Let's see. Everyone wants to know how Milka is. And our friend Kay is here. It says, hey, Yogi in chat. Hey, Destiny and Milka. Kay, how are you? What is on the agenda for the workout today? So if you were to get up in the morning, and you can combine breath practice. You can combine the alternate nostril breathing, and it would be breathing in, always start on your left, breathing in on your left for a count of 4. Hold. This is how you start. Breathe out for a count of 4. Breathe back in, hold, breathe out. All done for the 4 count. After you've done it for a couple weeks, you lengthen the exhalation. You can lengthen it to 6 or 8. Start out 6, make it to 8. So you're always breathing in for a count of 4, breathing in for 4, and then you add a breath retention in, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 8. Breathe in for 4, hold for a count of 8, exhale for a count of 8. Work your way up to holding for 6 for a count of 16. Very profound. You enter into that stillness between every breath. And again, it becomes a meditation completely on its own. 5 minutes of that. Always start with your left, always end with your left. 5 minutes of that, and you've entered into the parasympathetic nervous state. You've entered into the alpha brainwaves, so you increase your capacity for intuitiveness, inspiration, creativity, reducing stress, allowing you to function better in the workplace or family life. Very, very deep and profound breath. If you're doing any sitting meditation, then if you do that for 5 minutes, 10 rounds, um, a round can be counted two ways: breathing in, breathing out. Some people count that as a round. Traditionally, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out is an actual round, however you want to do it. Kay says that she's great. How are you? I'm doing well. Kay says I am doing kettlebell gorilla row exercises. You know what? I think it was a short. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I saw the title, so I would definitely be checking that out. The alternate nostril breathing, anulom vilom, ancient practice, predates yoga itself, and yoga is an ancient practice. Highly recommend giving it a try. Happy to coach anyone through a session. Just let me know. In the morning, you can combine it with the breath of fire, Kabote breathing, which is a short, forceful inhalation through the nose, followed by a passive exhalation through the nose. So your stomach is acting as a pump, and you're breathing in. You're literally pulling back the stomach on the inhalation, and then you're letting it go on the exhalation. And you do that for a count of 20 breaths. And then you do an easy breath. Easy breath is the yogic breath, where you just breathe in and you breathe out. No special count, through the nose, easy breath, followed by a full yogic breath. A full yogic breath is 3-part breathing. Breathing in through the nose, you fill the belly. Then you breathe up and you expand the rib cage, and you keep breathing up, and you breathe up into the clavicles, and then you release the breath, clavicles, rib cage, belly. That's a full yogic breath. You do that once, and then you breathe in an easy breath again, and you hold the breath for a count of 20. You release, and then you go right back into breath of fire. 3 rounds. That puts you into the sympathetic nervous state, which is the wake up and go. So it's a great way to wake up. And you could follow it up with the anulom vilom, alternate nostril breathing, and you've entered into this wakeful, creative, yet relaxed energy state. Beautiful way to start any type of meditation. Beautiful way to start your day. If you did that, it would take you 5 to 6 minutes. You get outside, you walk in nature, you repeat the mantram, and you've had a complete meditative experience without ever sitting in meditation itself. So, just something I wanted to talk about. One of my all-time favorite things is to talk about breath work, is to talk about meditation. And that's the yoga that I teach. I practice the full path of yoga, which includes the asanas. I don't teach the asanas. Although I'm certified to do so, it's just not my thing. I like teaching the I'm drawing a blank. I like teaching the ethical principles, as well as the practicality of breathwork and meditation. That would be the basis of Raja Yoga, which means royal yoga, or also called Ashtanga Yoga, the eightfold path. I keep making gestures that no one can see. The eightfold path of yoga. So if anyone has questions about breath, about meditation, doesn't have to be the Vedic mantra meditation. It could be all those things, or other ways of getting the benefits of meditation without actually sitting and meditating. Just let me know. And if I completely bored everyone with that discussion, I apologize. Um, but I do get asked a lot of questions. People say I would have loved to meditate, but I just can't get my mind still. I can't calm my mind. I can't rid myself of thoughts. Um, so it's always helpful to know that um, you don't have to do sitting meditation. You could do the Zen um, Vietnamese master Thich Nhat Hanh, a beautiful momentary meditation um, to bring peace and calm. Breathing in, I relax. Breathing out, I smile. This is a wonderful moment. And then just stay in that moment until the next breath begins. And you repeat as often as you like. Even once is a meditation completely on its own. Um, the other important thing to remember, meditation isn't about ridding your mind of thoughts. You're not going to become a blank. The truth is, in reality, you're already a blank. The mind is already silent. The mind is already still. That's what allows thoughts to pass by. If there was an emptiness within the mind itself, it would just be noise because there'd be no space in between any of those sounds, any of those thoughts to make sense. When you meditate, you use the breath or you use the mantra to occupy the mind so you realize I'm not my thoughts. I'm the awareness of the thoughts themselves, the natural state of meditation. And you enter, and especially with mantra meditation, you enter it easily, gently, without effort, no force, no concentration. You're not concentrating on the mantra, you simply think it and you let it go. And then you think it again. In that process, in Tibetan Buddhism, they call it shepna, which means that you've been hooked. You'll get hooked on a thought and get carried away by that thought. Completely natural. It's how the mind works. But then you remember, oh, wait, mantra. And you think the mantra again. Somewhere between the mind swinging back and forth between getting hooked on a thought and swinging back to the mantra, you fall into the silence that resides in between for who knows how long. It doesn't matter. You won't even know how long, because when you enter silence, it's without any type of point of reference. If nothing's happening, if you're aware of silence itself, there's nothing to compare it to. Time is always about comparison. This was then, this is now, this will be. We always have some point of reference. This is dinner time, this is bedtime, this is wake up time. But without those points of references, there's just the state of being, the state of beingness itself. Perfect relaxation. And you don't have to try to be there. You already are that. Milka says hi to Kay. Sorry, my eye is itchy. And I got a cat staring intently at me. So I'm talking a lot about meditation and breath work and stuff. But again, I'm always happy to answer questions about it or anything else. Throw it out there. And it doesn't even have to be about meditation. I don't want to, if you guys are kind enough to join me in a conversation, then I am open to anything anyone in the chat has to say as well. Milka McCarty, if she's still here, is almost done school for the year. She's had her first successful year of community college, getting her associate's degree in American Sign Language, using the remainder of her GI Bill. And just throwing stuff out there, we have Kay, who just finished an entire month worth of burpees every single day and is now entering um, kettlebell gorilla press. Gorilla row, I'm sorry. And we have our friend Flower here, who is probably still eating pizza and drinking Pepsi. And it is what it is. It was at work, but probably is getting ready to go home and do some burpees. And our friend Destiny. If you guys, Destiny is always great to follow. And I mentioned quite a bit about her, the joyfulness of her treadmill dancing. But if you've watched her recent jumping rope shorts, that's impressive. Especially, I remember her counting when she first started. And I don't remember exactly how many counts she would get to, but she'd get in a decent number and then have to start over again, as we all do. But now I watch her shorts, and she is just going at it, and she's adding in steps. Absolutely amazing to watch. Mocha says, I'm still here, but I'm driving. I'm finishing up my second semester of 4. I will have a summer break, and then I will go back in the fall, and probably the next spring will be my last semester. Which again, as I mentioned, is pretty awesome. Last year at this time, I remember your frustration trying to get everything arranged to be able to start school, and not even knowing for certain that you would be able to get everything together for it to work out. One of the things I'm glad to see is the recommitment, because you're doing photography classes as well. The recommitment to something that you have been passionate about, but unfortunately, life gets in the way sometimes of our passions, and you were able to step back in and reclaim it. That's the great thing about taking a class. It sort of forces you to restructure some of your life to get back to doing the things that you want, which is why I'm always doing classes on Udemy, which I'm never sure if I'm actually saying that right, or other certification processes, different yoga schools. Not too long ago, I finished up a certification for yoga psychology. It's not so much for gathering more and more information. It's more about staying open to the learning process itself, to always being available to learn. Sorry. I don't know if you heard my cat meow. So yesterday, I talked about spirit animals. And some of you guys listed the ones that you consider yours. Really fun to hear. But here's a question for anyone who would like to answer. What do you guys do for creativity? What is your creative outlook? And if you don't have one, is there something that you always wished you could, or that you used to do that you let slide, and that you would love to get back to doing? And I'll tie that in with the meditation and breath work that one of the surest ways of increasing your creativity and the urge to be creative itself is through meditation, and meditation as simply as just walking in nature. Okay, so I'm halfway there. Class of 25. Woohoo. Sorry, I should have been a little more enthusiastic with my woohoo. Um, and I am enthusiastic for you, but my woohoos never come out enthusiastically. Um, they just sort of come out in a lackadaisical woohoo. It doesn't imply that I am not enthusiastic. Um, so, with Mocha, I'm going to answer for her photography, but not the only one. She's also a very gifted poet and writer, a person of many talents. And I know one of the creative things that our friend Flower does is quadrabics. Did I say that right? And I keep meaning to look up a video of the quadrabics so I can see. She explained it, but I don't know what it actually is. Milka says you're a Zen woohooer. Yeah, it's from the heart. I woohoo from the heart. It just doesn't break from the surface and the enthusiasm that the woohoo implies that it should. And Milka says, nah. Oh, you are. I've observed you for 22 plus years. I think I know you pretty well. You know, some of the little creative things that we do, sometimes we take for granted. Think in terms of it is what it is, picking the perfect soundtrack for his workout. It's got to fit the mood, it's got to fit the reps, or the reps have to fit the song. It really is a creative endeavor. And then, of course, that brings to mind our good friend, the Jay Jordan, who entire channel is about creativity. From his workouts differing every month to his music, how he presents it, how he shares it during his live session as a means of giving back. I remember first watching that and being just completely gobsmacked. Not sure I ever used that word before, that expression, but it's fitting. That, well, this is the guy who is using his creativity, his songwriting gift to say thank you for everyone who supports him. And of course, we have our ever creative Destiny Forever Walks PhD, who dancing on a treadmill, dancing for joy on the treadmill, dancing with joy on the treadmill. I'm going to keep amending myself. This is the final one. Dancing as joy on the treadmill. I'm not sure joy is something that's expressed as a feeling or emotion as it is something that we exude as who we are. Joy is different than happiness. Happiness is based upon objectivity. Something can make you happy. Something can reduce your happiness. Something can take your happiness away. But joy is ever present and residing within the heart. When we tap into the heart center, we're literally tapping into the heart of joy itself. I'm looking on YouTube real quick, seeing if we have any friends who are live, in which case we'd bring them up. You see that our friend Reverend Terminator, speaking of creativity again, has a new video out, his upper body training. Reverend Terminator and the J were the two people that really convinced me to do something with my own channel, a little different than just doing my burpee workouts. And then discovering our friend Destiny and having conversations with her made me realize that I wanted my channel to be of service of some way, a creative outlet that is also of service and helping people. We're truly, the things that we do are truly made up of the people who've inspired us. Anything that I've been able to accomplish on YouTube is a direct result of the people that have inspired me, with Destiny, the J. Jordan, Reverend Terminator, and many, many others. And then I keep meeting new friends, and I see the creativity that they do. Speaking of which, our friend Vincent, Horror of Spice, such a fun channel. Hope you guys get a chance to visit him, especially if you like hot sauce. I don't have a whole lot of hot sauce in my life anymore, but I love watching the reviews. And they'll do a combination of a movie and hot sauce review. The last time my friends from who remember the early 90s, the movie Flatliners with Kiefer Sutherland and Joy Roberts. Our friend Destiny says, still here, listening, Eric. I appreciate that. Our friend Goldie is here. Hi there, lovely people. Saying hi to Destiny and to Mocha. Goldie, how are you? How's work today? Let's see. I want to make sure that I got my friends up and running. The big 3 or 4 right now that I have been definitely helping with some watch hours. I try everyone that comes in here. I try to make sure that I watch everyone's stuff. At the same time, our friend Ivy and our friend Dagmar, as well as Noble, they've talked about their watch hours. They talked about how they want to increase them. They have their subscribers already, so it's just a matter of getting those watch hours in. Just little things to do. Have them up and running. As well as, Dagmar, I love watching her walks. She's in Belgium. How often do I get to take a walk in Belgium with a beautiful dog? So I can have her up and running, which does a beautiful favor for her. And at the same time, on my odd moments when I'm here at my desk, I can look at it and I'm immersed in the nature, the dog walking in the Belgium countryside. It's a win-win for all of us. Same with Ivy. Interesting live streams. She doesn't like me saying it too often. Her husband, Rich, is hilarious. I have him up, running. She gets some watch hours. I get to dive in, learn a little bit. Goldie says, let's see, Mocha says, hey to Goldie, and Goldie says, at work, boring, it's been a slow day, and a little bit over an hour to go. Goldie says, how are you, lovely people? Well, hopefully this hour will go by quickly for you, or easily for you. I have, in my own life, managed to embrace boredom, where I seldom feel bored anymore. More than anything, I've started to feel more engaged in just the stuff of life, no matter what it is. So if anyone knows, here's a question about watch hours. Let's say someone has a smaller playlist. I can keep watching someone's videos and they still get watch hours, right? It doesn't matter if I give repeated viewings. I have been told that if you watch your own videos, you can only get credit for it once. I don't know if that's actually true or not, which is fine. Even getting credit for watching your stuff once is pretty good. But hopefully you can keep watching someone's stuff and they keep getting watch hours no matter how many times you might watch it. Goldie says she doesn't know. Because I'm starting Dagmar's live sessions over again from the beginning, and I'll play all the way through. Usually it's about 1 or 2 days worth of watching. Okay, says hello to Goldie. Might try to look that up. As well, if you guys ever want to share your own goals that you have for your channel, I'd love to hear it. Not only would I love to hear it, I want to support in any way that I can. So if you guys have a specific goal for your channel, sharing always helps. Sharing in a supportive community always helps. Sometimes sharing in a community of people that you don't know or might not be supportive, that might not be the best idea. But sharing in a community that supports and nourishes, that's a pretty big deal. So if you do have goals, please feel free to share. And I'll do what I can. And I know the people here. I know Destiny has come and said her channel is to help people succeed in what they want. What a beautiful thing to do with a channel. What a beautiful thing to do with your time. But Destiny never fails to impress me. Another person who is just committed, and it's funny, I said another person who's just committed, and as soon as I said that, Goldie popped up with, I'm a happy supporter. And that's just what I say. Another person who is committed their time on YouTube to help people. And what a huge help Goldie and Destiny have been to me, as well as each and every one of you for being here. And of course, I would be remiss not to mention in off YouTube time, offline time, the huge support that I get from Mocha McCarty through years of creative endeavors. everything I've ever tried, everything I've ever attempted, from being a writer, monetizing my blog, um, wanting to be self-supported through my self-support thing, through my creative endeavors. Uh, Milka has always stood by me. So again, Goldie says, I'm a happy supporter, and she really is an amazing supporter. Kay says, my channel is mainly for my kids and grands. When I'm gone for as long as social media is around, they will be able to go back and see me, what I'm interested in, how to grow their own food, fitness, etc. Hey, that's pretty cool. It's actually pretty remarkable in its foresight and deeply, deeply caring in what it offers. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to give. Okay. And Gordy says, that's so sweet. Okay, it is. Kay says, also, hopefully it will encourage them and then learn something. Also, maybe encourage someone else in YouTube community and beyond. Um, and again, it's a pretty amazing thing to offer. It's what I love about YouTube is people like that. It gives an avenue for people like Kay um, to do what she does. It gets a bad rap. Um, Lots of times I hear people say, I'm fed up with YouTube because of this or because of that, or the trolls get to them. And I've had my share of trolls, not as much as you might think, or maybe I just don't take them as trolls too much. I end up having fun. Um, but it allows that connection. I mentioned before how I've absolutely fallen in love with um, gardening channels, the homesteading, the small gardens, um, and what they offer, as well as the gaming channels. So I'll give a quick shout out. One for gardening, our own Odom's Homestead, as well as Micro Farmer, and then our dear friend Kay being top of the list for me. And then for gamers, Tokyo and Smitty, Smitty Deuces 187. Um, these are the people that I consider like top of the line in what they do. It is what it is says when people look at my channel, I just want to let them know that yes, you can do it too. And you get that message across uh, very strongly, very powerfully, very inspirationally, Lewis. It is, I mean, you never fail to offer that message. Because, and I think it's important that you do mention it. If someone were to come to your channel right now, they would see a lot of intensity, a lot of hard work. If they came to your channel 4 months ago and they followed along, they'd see someone who put in the work that they were capable of, given with what they had in that moment, and then worked with it and worked with it and worked with it. When Gandhi was asked, what's your message? What do you want the world to know? And his answer is very simply, my life is my message. And you can easily say that when you watch It Is What It Is. His burpees, his channel, what he does, the reps, that's his message. And his message starts with, it started 4 months ago for this year, with struggling to get the reps. But he did it. He did it that day. He showed up the next day, and he showed up the next day. If you guys remember, he couldn't jump back in his burpees. He stepped back, but he got the reps in. And now we have the rebirth of the champ, Mr. Five Pump. And Kay, helping people, inspiring people to grow their own food, to me, that's it's like a true gift. Kay says, thank you. And Goldie's dropping Kay's link. Thank you for that, Goldie. Goldie says, hi to It Is What It Is. Desi says, yes, we all must leave a legacy. We need a pioneer path to follow in order to complete our journey in finding our destiny. Man, that was a beautiful line, Desi. A pioneer path. Nightwatcher says, what does yogi talking mean? This is it. This is yogi talking. Just a yogi doing yogi talking. It's self self-referencing. It can't be described. It can only be experienced, for better or for worse. Destiny says, thanks everyone for joining Just a Yogi doing burpees in his basement for his live today. Please remember to hit the like button and share out. Thanks. Which I very much appreciate. And again, I love doing what I can to help other people with their channels or goals themselves. That's why, like I said, with if anyone wants to learn, anyone who comes here and it's part of the conversation, you want to learn meditation or breath work, free service. I will teach you absolutely for free. Because I know, for one thing, I'm very appreciative of your support being here. For two, all the stuff that you want to do will be enhanced through the practice of meditation. That's how firmly I believe in it. It's easy to have belief in a practice that actually predates history itself. Our friend Laradox is here. Hello, my friend. How are you? Appreciate you being here. Goldie drops Odom's link. Laradox says hi. Appreciate you stopping by. It is what it is, says. Appreciate that, Eric. You're welcome, and man, I appreciate your message as well as your energy. Kay says, I appreciate that, Yogi. Night Watcher. It's not Gandhi, it's Gandhi with the H pronounced like the H, the I. I get the greatest tips in pronunciation from Night Watcher, who has finally, patiently coached me into saying Bangladesh, as correct as it's probably going to get. I always tell people right from the beginning, I'm going to mispronounce everything wrong in every language, including English, including words that I might say correctly 99 times in a row, and then that 100th time, it's going to come out wrong. I have had issues with that my entire life. I've mentioned before, something that I've only in the past few years have opened up to be able to talk about. Seeing a speech therapist as a child, unrelenting, being teased and by teachers themselves, actually, where there'd be words I'd have difficulty pronouncing, would stumble over, and teachers would actually ask me to stand up in a classroom to say it so everyone could get a good laugh. So when someone is patient with how to pronounce something, I always appreciate very much. Let's see. Laradox says hello again, and Goldie is saying hi to Laradox. Night Watcher says, we're going to trademark the word yogi talking so I can see you and have to go to court and have to do more yogi talking so I can sue again. And you feed to yogi, talk more, and so the cycle goes on. You know what? That might not be a bad way of making a living. The perpetual suing of a yogi. I'm sort of surprised no one ever thought of that before. The trick is you got to pick on a yogi that has money to begin with. Lardox says, yes, hello, good. I'm glad you're doing good. Destiny says, it is what it is. You are laying a sure foundation, building mega landmarks for so many to follow. That is sure your legacy. Yeah, he's definitely building and building and building. Every workout, he's offering that inspirational pathway for others to follow. It is what it is, says Night Watcher. What the heck are you saying? Lardox says, have you made money from YouTube, Yogi? I have not made money from YouTube. I'm not above making money from YouTube. And I hope to get monetized. And I hope to be able to approach that very shortly. I'm hoping, let me check where I am. I'm hoping by the end of June that I'll have my watch hours in. I will let you guys know. I am at, thanks to the effort of great friends, thanks you guys being here and showing up for me each day, 2,556. So I'm approaching that 3,000. I don't know what 3,000 gets you. I know 4,000, you get the full monetization and you get the ads and stuff like that. You still got to put the work in. You got to show up every day to get people to watch you. For me, as I mentioned, I'm pretty content. And even more so, I'm content to stay content, which is no small thing. I'm not reaching and grasping, and I don't have delusions of grandeur, setting the YouTube world on fire. I want a channel of my own creative efforts that is of service as well as entertainment, as well as bringing joy to the people who might stumble across it. See, Goldie says, Night Watcher, how is that helpful and selfless? Night Watcher says, I don't know. Night Watcher gently teases me, which is fine. I appreciate him. I appreciate his sense of humor. He knows that I know that he's a good person and that I enjoy him being here. I think he's going to have trouble trademarking the term yogi. And Goldie drops, it is what it is, his channel. Hey, if anyone goes to watch It Is What It Is, make sure you go back into the archives to watch him, so you see where he starts at each year. Specifically this year, Lewis does an extended layoff every year, a couple months, and then eats whatever he wants to eat, and he doesn't work out. He'll put on some weight. He starts back over. He's not in great shape, but he starts over. And he invites everyone to start with him. You're either starting over or you might be starting out to begin with. So he's inspired legions of people through that effort. And then this year, not only was he out of shape, he was majorly injured uh, in an accident. So starting over, you got to check that whole journey out. Um, if you dive in right now, you see someone who's at the top of his game, um, putting in the reps, flawless, perfect burpee reps. But that's only half the story. How he gets there, that's the story. So again, uh, Gandhi, to paraphrase, for it is what it is, his reps are the message, and how he gets there. His life is his message. Kay says that's terrible of those teachers to do that. Yeah, I don't know if it's because of the time. You know, this was in the early 70s. Um, Actually, through the whole 70s. Even a little bit in the 80s. The amazing thing, this was a Catholic school. Some of these teachers were nuns. I've mentioned that to Goldie before. As well, my mother taught in that school, and you would think that they would have, and she was a beloved teacher. Everyone loved my mom. Um, you would think out of respect for my mom. But you know what? If you were to ask any of those teachers now, for one, they would probably be uh, very disappointed in themselves for that type of behavior. But when they were doing it, none of them thought they were doing anything wrong. They thought it was all in fun. That, you know, hey, that we we were all in on the joke. But of course, when anyone's picked on, you're not in on the joke. You do your best to survive the joke. You do your best to put on that false smile. And so people think, hey, I get it too. It's funny. But it isn't. It never is. Destiny says, Laradox, bless up. I love that expression. Gordy says, noise, and I know he will have a hard time. Now what you says, I watched one Gay Fury comic. Now every short I get recommended are Gay Fury comics. Gordy says, I'm sorry, Night Watcher. Well, I hope they're funny. If you're going to watch a comic, I hope they at least make you smile, make you laugh. That's quite a combination of a furry, right? And a comic. I don't think I've ever watched that before. Night Watcher says, it's okay, Goldie, it's actually kind of funny. Well, good. I'm glad you're getting some enjoyment out of it. Goldie says you might want to watch Dry Bar Comedy. Very clean and stand-up comedy. I'll check that out too. Destiny says we must all be content with ourselves. Being content with your life means that you are satisfied with what you have and who you are, instead of comparing yourself to others, finding your own peace. I agree. More words of wisdom from Destiny. And it doesn't mean that you don't strive for something. It doesn't mean that you don't have goals. But it means that, one, you're grateful for where you are. You're grateful that you're able to, one, that you exist at all. You've been given this incredible gift of being alive, of existing. Two, the abundance of air. We breathe freely. We're not charged for a single breath. We don't have to search for our breath. Our heart beats, hopefully, everyone, without any effort. We don't have to concentrate on it. Our body works in this beautiful functioning beingness. So we start from there. We have that thankfulness. We have that contentment of where we are. Um, for me, I've sort of realized I don't have that desire to um, keep striving, if that makes sense. That um, I've happily gone into that position of what I talk about quite frequently with destiny, of beingness itself. That's the contentment. That's the contentment that um, Goldie presented to me from St. Paul. Destiny says, thanks everyone for coming. Please don't forget to smash the like button before leaving if you haven't already. Much love. Thank you for that, Destiny. Night Watcher says, Yogi, what state do you live in? Maryland, the state of Maryland. It is on the East Coast, mid-Atlantic area. Some people consider it a southern state. Some people consider it a northern state, depending on your view. Rightly, my father, having his master's degree in geography as well as geology, um, would rightly classify it as a mid-Atlantic state. And it's a beautiful state. I've mentioned before, in 45 minutes, in a 45-minute drive, I can be in the mountains on the Appalachian Trail. I can see bears, I can see rattlesnakes, um, coyotes, all kinds of stuff, porcupines, bobcats. In 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, depending on traffic, I can be on the Chesapeake Bay. Beautiful body of water. I can cross a bridge on the Chesapeake Bay, and in 3 hours, I can be on the Atlantic Ocean. 15 minutes, I can be in Baltimore City. 20 minutes, I can be in Washington, D.C. I can be in Pennsylvania in 45 minutes. So it's a beautiful location. I absolutely love where I live. Night Watcher says, you want to hear about the Indo-Pakistan war, or what we as Bangladeshis? I didn't know that was the right way to say it. Bangladeshis, um, called the Liberation War of Bangladesh. I do want to hear about that, but hey, if you can come and share that this evening, I'd appreciate it. I actually got to shut things down in just a minute, and I don't want you to start the process of typing out something that I am interested in hearing, only for me to then say goodbye. Wouldn't be fair for you, and it also wouldn't be fair for people who also might want to hear the story. So, with that, I probably will be shutting this particular session down. I'm going to do my own mid-afternoon meditation that I do twice a day. Night Watcher says it's okay. I like typing. So I mentioned before, I do my first meditation right around 2:30-ish in the morning, and my second one somewhere between 2 and 3, depending on how, or 2 and 2:30, depending on how my live streams go. Man, I really appreciated hearing what everyone wanted to do with their channels. Some already, knew. Destiny has talked about that. Goldie has mentioned before that she's a happy supporter. And I've talked a bit with It Is What It Is, about what he's doing. And his message has been consistent. It was great hearing from Kay and what she's doing. Leaving a legacy. That's pretty good. As well, her children and grandchildren get to share that legacy with people. It's ongoing. And I always say that the things that we do now, an ongoing process, never ending. That's the law. I've been talking past couple of weeks. Deepak Chopra's The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success. Um, the law of pure potentiality, the continuation of the things that we do now. So it's always of the utmost importance to be on point, to know that we're living our dharma, expressing our purpose. Destiny says, just Yogi doing burpees in his basement. Thanks for you sharing your discussion and time. I am out for now, and we'll see you in the chat later. Much love, family. Thank you, Destiny. Much love to you as well. And I'm going to be, again, shutting down. Just a moment. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. I know I give long-winded goodbyes. I apologize for that. Night Watcher says, it first starts with the partition of Pakistan and India. Mocha says that she has an appointment starting in a few minutes, so I will try to see you all later if I have time. I appreciate that. Mocha? And Night Watcher says, so as the borders were haphazardly drawn by the British guy who had never even been to India, subcontinent, and were not cut into countries, Pakistan and India, Pakistan was the Muslim majority, which I remember. I remember what a mess the European generals after World War I made of not just the Middle East and the subcontinent of India, but out of Africa as well. They bordered things up from the point of view of Europeans and not from the point of view of the people who have existed there forever. Algo says, hello, my friend, how are you? Night Watcher says, and India was the Hindu majority. Algo says, oh, it looks like I came at the wrong time. I guess, yeah, I'm shutting things down. But you know what? I still appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. Night Watcher says, Pakistan was cut into two parts, East Pakistan and West Pakistan. East Pakistan was East Bengal, with a big chunk of the Bengal area. Olga says, I'm good. How are you? I'm doing pretty well. It was a good discussion. We, of course, I did the usual yoga meditation talk at the beginning. Then we started talking about the channels, what people want to create and offer and put out. And again, it's for all the knocks that YouTube might get, it is an opportunity for people to be creative and put that creativity out in the world. And if you're persistent, to earn an income from it. And I think that's the key. Everyone's creativity, creative effort is going to be different. For me, it's doing the nature shorts, it's doing my readings from my blog, and it's doing live sessions. But every single person's going to be different with what they present. But if you keep showing up, and you have a positive message. I know successful channels that don't have a positive message, but I sometimes wonder how long will they be successful, because I don't think people they don't want to keep diving into that pool of negativity. Because when you dive into any type of negativity, when you dive into any body of water, you come out wet. When you dive into the body of water of negativity, you come out in dripping negativity. And no one needs that or deserves that. Night Watcher says, and West Pakistan oppressed East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. You know what? I definitely did not know that. but West Pakistan a majority of weaponry and fighting power. Okay, says hello to Halgo. Halgo says, what did you do today, Yogi? I have a fairly busy day, but it never seems busy. It's busy, but it's not busyness, if that makes sense. Up, breath work, meditation, yoga, writing, out for a walk in nature. I do my burpees, I do my workout, and then more yoga. I fit some time to eat in between there. Sometimes more writing, lots of reading, and then I'm here live. So, I mentioned before, and I've written before, my life has softly and quietly become a life of yoga. And for me, just a really beautiful expression. Appreciate you asking. How about you? How was your day? Night Watcher says, West Pakistan forced Urdu, the official state language on the east. It was 86% Bengali-speaking people. So in 1952, there was a riot of language. We now call that riot the War of Language. The people of Bangladesh fought for their language, their people, and dignity. I appreciate you sharing that, Night Watcher. Interesting. Did not know that. I knew about the separation, how it was drawn up. I knew that many of the leaders who fought, and many through nonviolent activity of gaining the independence of India from the British Empire, were heartbroken that when it was turned into two states, two nations. All right. I'm glad you filled us in, Night Watcher. I appreciate that. But with that, I definitely got to call it an afternoon. I'll be back 5-ish, 5:10. If you guys are around, if you're busy, that's fine too. Olga says my day was good. I woke up at 5, took care of my animals, and then went back to bed. I spent a lot of the day in bed. The wife got the day off, so we just spent that time together. Now I'm sculpting. That sounds like a great day. One, a great day being able to spend that quality time with your wife, as well as taking care of animals, which is always a great thing to do. And sculpting. Man, I always wanted to sculpt. Such a kinetic, textile art. Night Watcher says, 2 decades after that, the second most powerful cyclones in the world, Bola cyclone, hit East Pakistan. Wow, and West Pakistan only sent 2 helicopters and 1 supply drop. That wasn't very nice. Goldie says, nice, Halgo. Yeah, that really does sound like a nice day. Hey, Halgo. Last question, and then I'm going to let everyone go. Is there any way we can see your sculpting? Do you do any shows, or do you share any online? Definitely love to see it. Night Watcher says the Bengali people were fed up of the bad treatment, as they should be. Holga says, yeah, I enjoy sculpting quite a bit, uh, quite a lot. I'm not allowed to work right now because of my knee. Sorry about the knee. And I know you hurt your back as well. You mentioned that. Holga says, no, I don't. It's more of a hobby for myself. Night Watcher says, and the Liberation War of Bangladesh started on March 26, 1971. You certainly know your history. It's pretty cool. You know it in detail, which is amazing. All right, guys. I got to shut things down. I'll be back. Really appreciate everyone showing up. Night Watcher, Holgo, Goldie. I don't want to forget anyone at all. Kay, our friend Destiny, Milka McCarty, of course. Absolutely no way I can forget Milka McCarty. And our friend Destiny. Oh, our friend Luridax was here and said hi. Luridax and I have had some. Oh, and Flower. Flower didn't stay long. I think she probably fell asleep. Luridax and I have had some really interesting conversations on religion, on Christianity, different views, but very polite. And I love that. No one has to think like me to have my respect. Goldie says, thank you for the lovely live and chat. Thank you, Goldie. Appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing the links with our friends. Holger says, all right, it's been nice talking, Yogi. You as well, my friend. Thank you. Night Watcher says, bye, Yogi. I'll continue next stream. Awesome. Looking forward to it. And again, I'll be back this later in the evening. Take care, guys. It occurred to me before I almost left that I didn't want to leave anyone out. And I certainly don't want to leave out our dear, dear friend, Destiny Forever Walks, PhD. So I'm almost certain that I mentioned her, but then I had that little nagging doubt, so I needed to come back real quick. Thanks, guys. Take care. Goldie says I'm happy to help, and I appreciate that so much.